The blunt hash hole. This has 2 grams of Higashi and a ½ gram of GMO. Let's pull this thing out and see what it looks like. I'm super excited to smoke this thing. I don't think I've ever smoked a hash hole that's a blunt. I've smoked plenty of hash holes that are just regular joints, but not in a blunt. I'm gonna take this label off and pull this thing out and see what we're working with. Pull this out. It's actually still really fresh. I was worried it might be a little dry because you know how blunt wraps are, but it's actually super fresh. So you can tell this is like a natural leaf. I'm assuming it's a backwood. It could be like a Fronto or one of those bigger leaves cut up, but I feel like it's a backwood. It just kind of has that smell to it, but I could be wrong. Not much left to do but get this thing lit up. I hope you guys are all smoking along, and if you're not, that's okay. Also hope you guys are all having a good day, a productive day, or if you're just chilling, that's cool as well. Sometimes it's hard to make my camera stay focused. Okay, we're getting this lit up. Damn. That's actually smoking good. First few hits. And you guys can see right here, I'm going to show you the tip. It looks like regular filter tips, which it does have in there, but it's inside a glass tip. It's just hard to see, but this has a glass tip in there. I also want to say, I almost forgot, happy fucking Halloween. I love Halloween. October's one of my favorite months. I love autumn. I love when all the trees start turning orange. You can maybe see a little behind me. Right in front of me, there's so many more orange trees. After this video, if I can remember, I'll go and I'll put that on screen so you guys can see. But autumn time is great. The weather is great. The vibes, Halloween, everything about it. I love it. Let me know in the comment section what you guys are doing for Halloween. If you're going to be handing out candy, maybe chilling, going to a party. As an adult, there's so many different things you can do for Halloween, you know? Like I said, pass out candy, go to parties, or just turn off your lights and say fuck them kids. No, I'm just kidding. Last year we actually had so many decorations out, hoping some kids would come and get some candy. We were sitting out with the bowl. I even was all dressed up. I was the dude from, what's that one movie called? Fuck, I can't remember. I'm gonna put him on screen though. I was this guy, I just can't fucking think of the name right now. And throughout that whole night, we maybe had like 5 kids show up. And when they came, they were in the car. Like whoever was taking them, like their mom or their dad was driving house to house. The kids would get out the car, they'd come to the door, they'd get candy, go back to the car. I think it was a really cold night from what I remember. But yeah, out here I'm not gonna get any trick-or-treaters. I don't even have neighbors. I'm out in the fucking middle of nowhere. Well, not really in the middle of nowhere, but I'm out in the woods in the country, you know. But we still do have some decor up here. We got some lights, the ghost, some stuff over here by the door. The inside of the house has a lot of decorations. We also have spiderweb on the windows here, but the inside, my girlfriend likes to go hard. We got so much decorations, and now that it's about to be November 1st tomorrow, we're getting the Christmas tree up. It's just that festive time of the year. Definitely one of the better times of the year. At least for me. I know everyone has their different seasons, but it's a dope time. I feel like everyone can agree holiday season is dope. But let's talk about this blunt. I haven't even really said anything about it. Look how this thing is hitting. This thing is hitting good. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell, but I'm getting some fat rips off of this thing. It tastes great. The Higashi is amazing. I can definitely taste it in here through the blunt. So that's really good. You know, when you're smoking a blunt and you have that tobacco flavor in there, sometimes it can be a little harder to taste your flower. But if you're smoking on some good shit, it won't be a problem at all. I'm not sure when I'm going to hit the hash. I feel like I might taste it. Let me see. It's kind of hard to tell right now. I think it's probably more down the middle. I'm going to try and keep the ash going, or not. I'm not going to ash it until a while. But yeah, this thing is smoking good. Let me show you guys how this thing is smoking a little more close up. You could already kind of see the hole. I think I am hitting the hash, and I haven't even ashed it yet. God damn. So back to Halloween. I was just trying to think. I can't remember when is the last year I went trick-or-treating, like the exact year. How old was I? Because there's no like set year when you stop trick-or-treating, but I'd say around like high school, maybe freshman, sophomore year. I think I was still trick-or-treating in middle school. I think that's fine if you're in like 7th, 8th grade. That's, you know, that's not bad. But maybe once like high school, I feel like that's maybe when I stopped. But I loved Halloween as a kid. When I was really little, I remember my parents made me a Teletubby one time. My brother was Batman and I was Robin. As I got older, I wanted to do more scary things. I remember being like a super scary zombie looking thing. Also, one year I wanted to be one of the clowns from the Fright Dome. If you don't know what the Fright Dome is, it's back in Vegas. They take the Adventure Dome, which is this indoor amusement park, and they turn it into a haunted house during all of October. It's actually pretty fucking cool. They don't do it anymore, but at the time it was rated in the top 5 scariest haunted houses in the entire country. I don't know how they rate it, but looking back, it was pretty scary compared to some of the haunted houses that I've gone to out here. But what I was saying is, one of the Halloweens, I wanted to be one of the clowns from the Fright Dome. His name was Rigor Mortis. I'll put his picture on screen. It's some clown that's creepy looking, green hair. He was my favorite. There was like 3 of them, a red one, a blue one. They were all pretty cool, but the green one I just really liked. I remember my first time going to the Fright Dome, and again, this is just like a bunch of haunted houses. If you can imagine like an amusement park with 5 separate haunted houses in it with a bunch of different themes. So you might have one that's like Chainsaw Massacre, and then this one might be like Saw themed or some shit, and then this one might be like Jason themed, and every year, now that I think of it, they had like a different theme. But I remember my first time going there, I think I was like 12. I was super fucking young, and I was just like the ballsy type, like nothing gonna scare me, this doesn't faze me, like I'm going and I'm gonna have a great time. And looking back, I had a great time. I actually remember I took one of my friends with me. It wasn't my first time, but like the second time. I was maybe like 13 at the time. And he was a year older than me, and he was telling me how like he's not going to be scared, and he was super excited to go with me. And I didn't think anything of it, but I remember he was so scared. He almost wanted to go home. I'm not going to say his name. He's never been on the channel. This is like an old childhood friend, but I remember he was squeezing the absolute shit out of my hand when we were walking through the haunted houses, and also like my dad's hand, because my dad was with us. We were super young, so we had to have, you know, someone with us. But I remember he was squeezing the fuck out of me and my dad's hand, and then like for a long time, like he was just kind of sitting out and hanging by the food court while the rest of us went and just did haunted houses. I felt bad for him, but I wasn't gonna, you know, it was a lot of money to get in there back then. I think it was like $60, and when you're 12 or some shit, maybe 40, I don't know. But when you're 12, 13, that's a lot of money. I don't want to make this blunt go out. I've been yapping. But that's what these videos are about. It's probably about time to ash it. You guys think? I'm going to ash it, and we'll see if we can see the hole. Oh, we can. Oh, shit. Look at that hole. The blunt hash hole. I had a feeling I was getting to the hash already, because you saw at the beginning of the video kind of when I first lit it. Well, not right when I first lit it, but a few hits in before I ashed it, you could kind of like see it was kind of caving in. The hole was starting to form, but I love that. The hash hole, the blunt hash hole, some GMO in here. GMO is just like a staple rosin strain. Do you guys like GMO? Because I fucking love it. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section, because that shit is gas. I wish you could find more GMO in flower form. Like, I have tried it and I have seen it, but it's not as common. Like, you can find GMO rosin all day, but finding it in flower form, it's a little tougher. That's one of those strains that I would consider my favorites. If I were to put it in my top 5, it would have to be up there for sure. I got OG Gorilla Glue, Girl Scout cookies. That shit was so fucking good. I haven't had it in a minute. Then some GMO. That's 4 strains. I don't know what would be my 5th. That's a tough one. I've tried so many different strains, it's hard to say, but this thing almost needs to be ashed again. It's at that time of the day where it's not dark, but it's starting to get there. That's why I got this jacket on. It's starting to get a little cold. My brother got me this for my birthday. It's like a super old Ralph Lauren, or not Ralph Lauren, Polo. I always get those brands confused for some reason. But it's a super old school Polo hunting jacket. I don't know what year. I could probably look on the tag, but yeah, fucking sick. It's actually really warm. It has all these dope pockets. And since my brother gave it to me, it has sentimental value. I mean, I would already like the jacket even if he didn't give it to me. But yeah, I feel like I haven't put that much of a dent in this blunt. Let me show you guys where I'm at. I mean, we still got a decent amount left. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I also want to take some time to say thank you to everyone who's been following the Instagram. The numbers have been going up every time I shout it on the video, so thank you guys so much. If you haven't followed the Instagram yet, go ahead and give it a follow. If you want, I post on my story daily, so I'm not going to blow up your feed, but if you want to see daily story posts of bong hits, flower, wax, maybe whatever I'm doing throughout the day, my Instagram is Raw Brandon. I'll have it on screen. We've been gaining a lot of followers, and I really appreciate you guys. This thing is hitting so good, way better than I thought, and I didn't think it was going to hit bad, but again, I was a little worried because this thing was sitting in my drawer for a few weeks, you know? And blunt wraps, they can get dry, especially these leaves, but it was nice and contained in this little doob tube. It's wet now from the rain, but I didn't open it, so it stayed nice and sealed in there. I will say I've really been enjoying this blunt. Anything that I get from Brave Farmer, man, he fucking kills it. And since I mentioned my Instagram, why don't you guys also follow Brave Farmer? His main account just got taken down, unfortunately. You guys know how it is in this scene. He's working on getting it back, but if you want to follow his backup, it's just Brave Farmer. His main is The Brave Farmer, but his backup is Brave Farmer. So those are his only two accounts. Anything else is going to be a fake, is going to be a scammer. And since he's starting to get bigger, I know that a lot of scammers are taking this as an opportunity to make fake accounts, to try and impersonate, trying to act like him so they can scam anyone who's trying to order from him. So that's fucked up. Make sure you're talking to the right person. I do want to say that because fuck those scammers out there. They're relentless, you know. It's unfortunate that there's a lot of people out there like that, but it's the world we live in, you know, in the digital age. There's always been scammers, I feel like, since the dawn of time, probably even back in the caveman days, you know, just schemers and shit. But the digital age has just like made it, you know, worldwide. Like anyone can do it from anywhere. Someone can be all the way across the country doing some shit to someone else across the world. It's fucking crazy. So with anything in life, you know, be careful. And if there's an opportunity for someone to scam you, watch out. Always watch out. All right, I'm going to show you guys where I'm at on this blunt. I feel like I'm starting to make some progress. And I'm not going to lie, I'm feeling it in the head. I kind of have a head high. You guys didn't see, but I had to go change my battery because my battery got low. I changed it in between a cut, but when I went to stand up, I felt it, you know, that my head was just like, whoa. Sometimes you don't feel it until you stand up, but I'll show you guys where we're at. The filter tip is pretty big. Like, these are the big glass ones, so I feel like I'm actually almost there, believe it or not. May not look like it, but we got a big filter tip in there. This blood is about to tap me out. I'm actually... Normally the hash holes are easy to smoke, but man, this fucking blunt, it's not even the weed, it's the tobacco. It's starting to... Strong blunt leaf. And there's a good amount of weed in here. Like, normally the blunt wraps don't fuck with me or like make my head spin unless there's more leaf to weed. Like, you have to have a lot of weed to blunt ratio, if that makes sense. But this is a fat blunt right here. It's just, damn, this wrap is strong. I also have zero nicotine tolerance. That's another thing. Like, if you were someone that vapes or smokes cigarettes, you'd smoke this and probably not feel anything. But I hit any type of vape disposable, which I don't, but I've like tried them just to see what they're like, and I can't do it. I'll start coughing my lungs out like on the first 0.2 seconds of inhaling, just like I have to instantly exhale because the nicotine hits the throat differently. It really does. Fuck all those disposables and carts there. I know there's probably a lot of you guys that watch this and use those vapes, but they're not good for you, you know? I hate to be that guy. I'm not trying to talk shit, but I'm old enough to remember when vapes started becoming a thing, and they were always advertised as something that people would use to get off of cigarette smokers, like people who were already addicted to nicotine. But then that's not what happened. Our new generation came in and started vaping before they even picked up a cigarette. There's a lot of people who vape who haven't even smoked a cigarette in their life, which is crazy because the whole point of them were to, you know, stop people from smoking. But Big Tobacco knows what they were doing. They know what they were doing with their marketing and their flavors, and like, you'll see some of these fucking devices and it literally looks like a kid's toy, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why is a vape look like a Slurpee cup? You know, and I'm not saying adults can't enjoy candy flavors and fruity flavors and whatnot, but Big Tobacco knows what the fuck they're doing with that shit, and, you know, it is what it is. I think Big Tobacco knew that our generation wasn't really fucking with cigarettes anymore. We all learned in school that cigarettes were bad. So they're like, fuck, how do we sell tobacco to this whole new generation if they're not going to buy cigarettes? So now they're making a killing off vapes, and they probably make more than they did back in the day off of cigarettes. I don't know what the numbers are like, but I can imagine they're making more off of the vapes now because fucking everyone does it. It's crazy. And again, I don't mean to sound like that guy, like a hypocrite. I'm smoking tobacco right now, but every once in a while, I don't think it's bad. I enjoy a blunt every once in a while, the little buzz, but when it starts becoming a habit for me, that's when I would draw the line. So there was actually a period of time, maybe a few years ago, where I was smoking a lot of blunts, and whenever I stopped, I never like felt the urge to keep going. I just kept smoking weed out of my glass, rolling joints, and moved on. It wasn't like I was like, fuck, I need a blunt wrap. But either way, guys, I'm coming down to the very end. I can taste it. Show you guys where I'm at. It's a fat ass glass tip, but that's going to be it for this video, you guys. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and if you guys enjoyed this video, maybe go check out some of the other videos. OG out. Peace.